Hello, I'm Rob Lee, a classically trained producer, and I'm here to help you make engaging music. Today we're going to look at how we can create a smooth transition between chords. If you want to know how to use music theory to make a simple chord progression, then please have a look at the video that I created before, and I've posted it down in the comments, so have a look at that. So I'm doing this in Ableton, although actually you can do it in any DAW. It's not DAW specific. And what I've done is I've chosen the key of D minor. And actually in Ableton you can turn on the scale, I guess the scale quantizer. I'm not a fan of it. I find it difficult to see all the time what notes are. I find it better to just use the Ableton Learning Playground that you saw in previous videos. So here's my chord progression. It's in the key of D minor, and it starts with the triad of D minor, which is chord 1, which is D, F, and A. I always add a bass note to my triads, and I'm going to show you why in a later video. But you can see here I've got chord 1, then I've got an A minor chord, which is chord 5 in the key of D minor, G minor, which is chord 4, and then C major, which is chord 7. And it sounds like this. And you might see, and you might very well hear, quite a large jump between the top notes in the chord progression, especially from chord 1 to chord 5, and then from chord 4 to chord 7. There's quite a big jump. And if you don't want that large jump, there's an easy way to keep the chords intact, yet make it so that there's a smooth movement between each chord. So let's have a look how we might do that. So knowing that a triad is made up of three notes, I'll put my teeth back in. Knowing that a triad is made up of essentially 3 notes, and it doesn't really matter what order those notes appear in, because those 3 notes make up that harmony. It doesn't matter what is the top note, it really makes no difference. So you can see at the top of chord 1 I've got the A, which is the 5th, and at the top of chord 5 I've got an E. Now that's quite a large gap. That is actually the gap of a 5th. So if I just take the D of the triad and put it up an octave, we've got a note that's way closer to the E, which is at the top of the A chord. And essentially what we've done is, in terms of contemporary music, what we've done is we've changed the inversion of this triad. Now, I'll add a disclaimer here. I'm not talking about inversions, because there's 2 ways of talking about inversions. I'm not talking about classic inversions or classical inversions, or really what I should say is Baroque inversions. I'm talking about contemporary music inversions, and really what that means is when we talk about contemporary music inversions, we're literally talking about the right hand of the piano. And you can see here at the very bottom back, we've got, and you can see here at the end of this chord progression, we've got this C major triad. Now, the distance between this note, which is the D of a G minor triad, and the G is, again, it's quite far. But if we take the C of the C major chord, put it up an octave, then we get a much smoother movement here. Let's have a listen to it. And if I take the bass notes out, you might actually hear it a little bit easier. Actually, we could even take this E and put it up an octave as well. Let's put the bass notes back in. There we have it, simple, smooth transition between chords, just using simple inversions. I hope this video has been useful to you, and I hope that you will make use of this technique to make smooth transitions between your chords. See you next time.